This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So if you are out just out of the college and you're confused about what you want to learn in IT, then I think this page will be, the right source of information. Again, I keep updating this page very often. It's not been updated from last 1 year, but still it's very much relevant actually. So first thing you have to decide what the programming language which you want to focus on. So you can't focus on everything, right? You are not a Superman. I'm not a Superman either. So, right? So we have to focus on one language first. Going further, let's say if you have a 4 to 5 years of experience, you can have a multi-language expertise also, skill set also. But to start after the college, just focus on one language. Become a master in one language, and then focus on rest of the things. So here you have to decide whether you want to go towards the Java side or a .NET side or Python or Ruby or Node or something like that. Which direction you want to go for? Let's say one of the most popular language which we have is Java. So now you selected a Java here, and now you need to know the next question you may be having in your mind. That is that is okay. I'm going to join some organization, or maybe I'm preparing for some interview for the organization, or maybe you have a passion to become a very successful software engineer. Okay, you want to learn all this engineering stuff. So what should I learn? What should I learn? And that is where we have a two environment: pre-production and production. Okay, so pre-production means the place where we have a software development ongoing, okay, in progress you can say. And the production means the place, the team, the phases where we run the software, we maintain the software. Okay, so what should I learn now in the pre-production? So start with, first understand the software development life cycle. I know that you might have studied in semester 2 also in your college time. So now you have to, get into the depth of it. You should not go back to the books and start reading those stuff, but you should rather understanding in terms of, reading some of the blogs, which is popular blogs available in the market, in the internet. Also you should talk to your seniors who's already working on in the software organization, and start getting the input for that, like what exactly you do in order to do the software development, what happens in reality. So those are the things you have to understand. Software development life cycle you have to understand. You have to understand software development model. You have to understand software architecture. You have to understand the platforms. You have to understand what is microservices concept and all these things. So all the conceptual stuff you need to understand in a simple way. After that, the planning will come. Planning and requirement gathering, what you call it. So for that, which software you want to learn? So in the market, there are so many softwares available. So many software. One of the software probably wants to get idea about it, Jira. Nowadays, Jira is a cloud-based also. So just you can go, anyone can go. It's not like only few selective people from the organization can access Jira. No. Now every tools can be accessed by anyone. So Jira you can learn. Okay. Now let's say because we have selected Java here, so at least one programming language you have to know. Don't focus on multiple programming language to begin with, uh, and just focus on one programming language. Now you have to version the source code. That is where we have to learn one tool. Let's say Git and GitHub. So after that coding is completed, for that we have to do analysis also, code analysis. Probably you can target SonarQube. Once the code review is also in a shape, then you have to learn the build management. How do we do the build? You can learn Maven, Gradle, and stuff like that. Maybe you need to have an idea about the unit testing also, little bit of. Okay. Then how do we package the software? Packaging management also you need to learn. system packaging, application packaging, which you can see Java, ER in Java, for Java, but system packaging like exe, msi, apk for mobile and all stuff like that. So different types of packaging, you understand that. Create a list of platform and which are the packaging types is supported and all. After that, where do you store the packages? That you should learn at least. Nexus, you can go for it. Okay, these all are software is free software. Now then we want to deploy the software. We want to do the deployment of a software in existing servers, so you can learn Ansible here. There are many solutions are available, like a Chef Puppet, Ansible and all, but Ansible is a very popular in the market right now. Then you should learn about the container, Docker. So I'll put it in this way, why this is most important. So earlier we were running the software and application in a physical server. Physical server means your laptop, something like that. Then we started running after that, for many other reasons, including the cost, we started running the software in a virtual server, right? And nowadays we are not running in the software in a virtual server, but nowadays we run the software in a container, and that is where we are going to learn Docker. So Docker is a platform now. After that, once you are done with this, probably you should focus on learning some of the stuff related to the testing domain also. I would suggest you Selenium, JMeter, and something like that you can use. Then you should go for the code coverage and then CI tools like Jenkins. So this is the stake. At a high level, you should try to, focus and then try to learn in a pre-production environment. Now there are some tools which we have in the production environment, in which we run the software, that I'll discuss in some time. But are you getting sufficient idea about it? What should I learn and what should I not learn?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So now once you get into the production environment, then what you are going to do? So these are the problems actually. Deployment problem. How do we solve it? In production, typically you solve through the same tools, Chef, Puppet, and Ansible, which you have used here. So go for the Ansible because it's the most popular, and it's in terms of job market also, Ansible has a greater depth. Again, one of the things which I have noticed in many of the people, like they see the JD of some organization and they start focusing on that JD. Don't do that, that kind of stuff, because every project had a different tool sets requirement. So company publish the JD based on their internal requirement, not the requirement based on the what is a popular in the market, whether you have a job prospects more. It's not like that. So these are the problems if you see that, and one tool if you can get a master in, then it will be easier for you. You have to learn Kubernetes also, so that is important. Then you have to start monitoring the software, where you run the software in the data center. You have to start monitoring also. So you have to do infrastructure monitoring, log monitoring, performance monitoring, and security monitoring. So these are the things you have to also implement. So for that you can use multiple tools are there, but pick one of it. Maybe you can pick up Datadog, yeah, or Splunk, New Relic. So different software. So in fact, Datadog can do infra also, log also, performance monitoring also. New Relic also can do all of this. So here I have mentioned, yeah, infra, Datadog is best. For log, Splunk is best. Performance monitoring, New Relic is best. So like that. So you can learn all of these tools. When it comes to a platform, of course, focus on Linux. So that's the first thing. Many times I have experienced, like people wants to become a DevOps engineer and they want to learn all the fancy tool like Datadog, New Relic, Jenkins, Ansible, Terraform, and all these things, but they don't know Linux. So I mean that is like a not in sync actually. your expectation is too high and you don't have a fundamental in place actually. So start loving Linux. Do whatever you are doing on daily basis for installing application, troubleshooting, running application. Don't do in Windows. Do it in Linux. So that is the starting point. So yes, you have to get into the Linux. Then if you really want to get into the platform related problems, then virtual machines you can create using these tools. Cloud also you have to learn one of the cloud, AWS or Azure. Go for the AWS for time being. Containers is also coming under the platforms like a Docker Kubernetes. So I think these left side you have a problems, right side you have a multiple solution. By the way, this is not the complete list of solutions here. In the market, you may find for build management at least 10 tools are there. So here, which I have mentioned is only the popular one. So now, did you get an idea what should you learn and what you should not focus right, to begin with when you're starting your career, all of you?
Yeah,
Yeah, Rajesh.
So mark this URL. Whenever you get confused about this question, probably you can review. I'll keep updating this. This page has not updated from last 1 year or two, but I'll update it, and then also we'll have a some of the new tool entries here. Okay, so
This conference will now be recorded.
okay, so basically your question is what is configuration management, and then
yeah,
what is cloud automation, and what is infrastructure as a coding. How do we put it in a context of software development? And top of it, what is Ansible? I mean, how this Ansible is different from Terraform, and which one I will opt for, which is
yeah,
recommended one. Should I learn Ansible or Terraform? See, sorry about sorry about see, there is one programming language, Java. Okay, Java is a programming language. .NET is also, Python is also, all is also. So using the programming language, you can do everything. I repeat, you can do everything. There's no one thing which you cannot, there's no one functionality you cannot develop using Java. You can do everything. But then you see that a lot of tools is coming. Okay, a lot of tools, correct now? So
yeah,
we have a Java language where we can write every sort of program, every sort of functionality. Then why these tools are popping up every 1 week? New tools is coming up in the market. So these the reasons are very simple. Tools can save your time, can save your cost, and improve quality. So that's the reason we want to save cost. See, we are a human being. We want to do something which is makes more meaningful, and we should satisfy with ourselves. So if we keep doing the everything from scratch, then we'll not be satisfied. So there we want to save time. So something which is being done, let's say you want to write a functionality. There's one functionality you write in Java. How many days it will take? Let's say 2 months. Correct? Now, I don't want to spend 2 months for getting this functionality. Rather than I will go ahead and find out the functionality which is already available in the market. That is called tools. So this will save time, and implementing maybe is a 1 week. So see, 2 months versus 1 week. So it's not like, so the question you asked me, I'll just correlate the question. Hey, how that is this tools is different from Java? So using Java, you can get everything, but you won't get saving time, saving cost, and you cannot improve the quality of your. So that's the reason we are using tools, different tools. So now in the world of DevOps, actually, you will see the hell lot of tools, more than 200 to 300 tools. You will see that everyone is talking about this tool, that tool, and all. 10 people you will talk, they will give you 10 more suggestions. Okay, so now what to learn, what not to learn, which is good, which is not good, that you decide on the problem statement. Okay, what is a problem you're facing? Don't go for that people saying that this is a DevOps tool or that is a DevOps tool. The problem, what problem you are solving, that is important. So now the first problem in this coming back to the context of this particular tool, configuration management problem. So you want to manage configuration of server. When I say configuration of server means, let's say I'll put it in this way. When you want to install one software in your laptop, you might be doing 10, 20, 30, 40 activities, don't you?
Yeah, we will do.
For example, let's say if you want to install one application Java based, so you'll install first Java, then you install Tomcat, then you install application, then you install database, then you configure the database, then you copy some files, you delete some files, do hell lot of things, right? It might take 1 hour. What you are going to do in 1 hour? Correct? So that thing we want to automate. This is called configuration in server. So we want to automate that activity in simple way I'm putting up. So now the question is how to automate. There are hundreds of tools are there. That's what I said. You can automate using PowerShell also, which is in Windows. If you're on Linux, you can write a shell scripting also. You can write a Java for that also. You can write a Python also. See, problems, what you have a problem right now, configuring the server, automating the repetitive process of setting up the application in a one server. So that's the problem. Solution, you have 100. Now which solution which will help you to save cost, save time, and improve the quality of the work? Which solution? That is where we'll say, hey, people say, hey, for this problem let's use Ansible. So Ansible, Chef, Puppet, CF Engine, Salt, many softwares are there for this problem. You can do this automation, you can do through the Java also, but we are not doing it. Ansible. So Ansible, if you use Ansible, probably within 20 30 minutes you can automate this task and you're good with it. So now this, if you want to configure the server, then you can use Ansible. So here Ansible will help you to configure not only one server, but it will help you to configure hundreds of servers in one go. That means I'll put it in a simple way. One package deployment in one server, if it is taking 1 minute or let's say 5 minutes, then 1,000 machines also will take 5 minutes using Ansible. So that kind of capability Ansible has it. It will help you to configure your server. Are you understanding this, all of you?
Yeah,
So,
Rajesh.
yes,
But you know what? Over the period of time, people started adding more features to Ansible. More features to Ansible. This Ansible will do this. Ansible can do that. Let's not talk about it. Fundamental features. Let's stick to it. Ansible can solve your configuring the server. Okay, Ansible can do that. Now, second problem which you have here, cloud automation. Just let's be only on AWS or only on Azure. Okay, so if you are using only AWS and if you want to automate everything, okay, see, you have to have one mindset here. Code for everything. Code for everything. Are you getting scared?
Yes, Rajesh.
Huh. But set your mindset. Code for everything means when I attend the any sessions for the starter, I mean for the college students, I simply say, don't run away from the coding if you want to become a software engineer. See, people will say anything. Hey, this tool we don't need to learn coding, or this thing you don't have to learn coding. Let me tell you, think simple. Think simple way. Don't need to ask anyone else. You are a software engineer, and software engineer are supposed to write a software, supposed to code for the software. The simple definition. Correct now? All of you?
Yes, Rajesh. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajesh. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rajesh.
Change your mindset. If anyone is telling you, hey, learn DevOps, there's no coding, then he's the biggest enemy of your career actually, or she is the biggest enemy. Because in DevOps or anything in a software engineering, if you want to be successful, if you want to be getting paid good salary, okay, then you have to start loving code. If you attend the Google or Adobe's and uh, Facebook interviews, they will ask you C, they will ask you Python, they will not ask you all DevOps tools and all. Trust me, they will check your mathematical capabilities, they'll check your analytical capabilities, they'll check you the how much good you are in algorithm data structure. Why? Okay, so focus on the right thing rather than getting lost on people's what people are saying. Learn this tool, that tool. Still, I've shown you so many tools, right? But I'll say simple. You don't need to learn so many tools. Just focus on Java and just focus on Linux. Rest of, this is the foundation actually. And if these two foundation you are strong, these all Maven, JUnit, you just have 4 hours of work actually. If you know Java, you are very strong in one programming language. Rest of the things is just a 2 to 3 hours of work. Why we are struggling a lot on this all this tooling? Because we are not, foundation is not strong. You don't know the structure, data structure, algorithm, looping, conditioning, variables, over oops concept. Because of that, we don't understand the problems of all this stuff. Okay, so coming back to the thing question. So yes, we want to configure the server. We could do using any tools, but Ansible helps us to save time, cost, and improve quality. That's the reason we use Ansible. Simple. Now, cloud automation, you know, AWS, we have 4,000 services. How do we automate it? So cloud from AWS has given, sorry, cloud automation. So AWS has given cloud formation one service is there. Okay, in AWS. Now, if you go to Azure, ARM is there. So they say, hey, if you want to automate AWS, use cloud formation. If you want to automate Azure, use ARM. So using cloud formation, you can write a YAML file. Using ARM, you can write a YAML file and you can automate, no problem. Okay, you can do that. So first you learn AWS through the UI part, and after that you can automate all these things. But the problem is, what about if you have a multi-cloud infrastructure? You have some code in AWS also, some code in Azure also, some code in Google Cloud also, some code in the VMware also. What you will do? How do you automate? So that is where the HashiCorp has come up with the one concept which is called infrastructure as a coding. Means coding for infra. Simple. If you find ISE little difficult, so I'll put it in this way. Coding for everything. So I'll put it in this to set your mindset. Code for what? Software. Of course, you'll do in Java, right? Correct? Code for the
Yeah.
software. Code for testing a software. Many, see, I'll tell you one incident which was happened last month. One person called me and he said he wanted to become a software engineer, but he does not like coding. So he has opted for to become a test engineer. But you know what? See, you have to write a code again in that. Code for testing the software. Okay, code for testing the software, code for CI, code for, just a second, code for CI means, what is the CI means? Continuous integration. CD,
Integration.
yeah, code for,
Continuous development.
yeah, deployment, delivery, Yeah.
Believe.
Code for what? Code for CI, code for CD, code for infra, code for monitoring also. Monitoring. Code for security also. So tell me one area. See here. Software development, testing, operations, and monitoring security. Tell me a place where you don't have a coding. Everywhere. Here you will write a Java code. Here you will write a Selenium code. Here you will write a Selenium code. I'm just writing in short. Here you will write a Jenkins file. Jenkins also write a code actually. Here you will write a Terraform Ansible code. Terraform, Argo CD. So many tools are there. Ansible. Here you will write a Terraform again. Right? Here you will write a code for some YAML, which is for the Datadog or Datadog or what you say, New Relic or App Dynamics or something. And here you will write a code for security also. Different kind of coding. So you have a code everywhere. So now coming back to the points here, we did the configuration management. We wanted to manage the configuration of the server. So we opted as a community opted Ansible is the best solution for configuring the server. Does that mean using Ansible only you can do that? No, using Ansible you can do a hell lot of other things, but it's not good for it. Ansible is best for configuring the server, whereas CloudFormation to AWS is best for automating the AWS. ARM is best for automating Azure. But what is the multi-cloud architecture? That is where the Terraform is best for it. So Terraform is a code for infra. Infra you have how many tools you may have it? 10, 20, 50, 30. So Terraform is best for automating multi-cloud infrastructure, whereas Ansible is best for managing the only server, configuration management of server. So now your question was, hey, which one I should learn? So let me tell you, you have to learn both, because the problem here is automating the server configuration, which you do Ansible, automating the entire infrastructure, multi-cloud infrastructure environment and all, Terraform. So both the problems are different. Terraform can you use for configuring the server? Let me put it in a very simple way. Can you use Terraform for configuring a server? Yes, you can use it. Can I use Ansible for multi-cloud? Yes, you can use it. But it's not the best suitable for it, which will save your time, cost, and improve the quality of the software. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
Yeah, Raj.
So yes, there is a problem. There's a hell lot of solution, which is the best solution for that particular problem. You have to find out. So yes, the answer is both you need to learn. Got it?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
Rajesh.
Yeah.
Thank you for
So
that
yeah,
information.
yeah. So yeah. So this is the things. Let me stop the recording.